Hey everyone! In this Vinyasa practice, we are working towards our Purvottanasana, otherwise known as the stretch of the east, or you might know it as reverse plank. We're going to be strengthening quite a bit through the back of the body, so our glutes, our hamstrings, our calves, strengthening our wrists. We're also going to be opening through the front of the body, extending our spine quite a bit because it is technically a bit of a back bend. And this class is inspired by a quote from a movie that I watched recently called Conclave. You might have seen it as well because it's very timely with what's been happening with the Pope. It is an incredible movie. I would totally recommend watching it. But when I saw this speech in the movie, it was jaw-dropping. It's about living with uncertainty and doubt. And for context, it's the dean speaking to the men before him just before they're about to elect a new pope. It reads, "Certainty is the great enemy of unity. Certainty is the deadly enemy of tolerance. Even Christ was not certain at the end. My God, why have you forsaken me?" He cried out in his agony at the 9th hour on the cross. Our faith is a living thing precisely because it walks hand in hand with doubt. If there was only certainty and no doubt, there would be no mystery, and therefore no need for faith. Let us pray that God will grant us a pope who doubts. That was such a beautiful quote, and I think it reminds me of the need to surrender into these moments of uncertainty, these moments of doubt, because when we let go of that certainty and surrender, we live in so much more freedom. And in this pose in particular, if you've tried it before, you might have experienced that uncertainty, that doubt of lifting off the ground. Am I actually going to be able to get to the top? But there's this beautiful moment, if you do get to the top, of letting go, where you let go of your head, the weight of your head drops back, you open through the throat, and it's super open. And so we're kind of playing with these elements today of embracing that uncertainty and surrendering to whatever happens in the moment. All right, let's get started on our backs. So however you'd like to land is up to you. You might have your legs out long. You also might be in constructive rest with the feet wide and your knees knocking towards each other. Once you do land in a position that feels comfortable for you, you might like to close the eyes down. And taking a slow, deep breath in and out through the nose. Maybe starting to tap into that feeling of surrendering, letting go of control, embracing the doubt, Before we begin to move, let's take another 3 to 5 slow breaths in and out through the nose in our own time. Let's take one more deep breath in, filling out the belly, the ribs and the chest, finding that expansion and then holding the breath at the top. Maybe breathing in a little more, maybe a little more, Big breath out through the nose or the mouth. Hug the knees towards the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. It could be a gentle rock from side to side. And then bring the hands behind the back of the thighs. Your hands might interlace together if they reach. Reach the feet up towards the sky. Big breath in. And exhaling to bend. And just take a few more like that in your own time. Lengthening through the back of the legs. Next time you're at the top, let's flex the toes. So bring them towards your face. And then point your toes towards the sky. Pull the toes towards you. And then point them up. Let's go about 3 more in our own time. We are going to be opening through our feet as well, because if we come into our full reverse plank, our toes will be pointed. So it requires quite a lot of openness through the front of the ankles and strength through the back. And then lower your feet towards the ground. Plant your right foot behind your right hip. Left leg, option you can have it down as well. Or if you felt like more, lift the left foot up. Single leg glute bridge. Knee could be bent or toes facing the sky. Hands by your sides. Big breath in. As you exhale, push through the right foot. Lift your hips up. Little tuck of the ribs towards the hips. And we're just going to hold. Can you imagine your heel trying to squeeze towards your hips? And then reverse, kind of push into the front of the foot. Inhale to pull towards your hips. Exhale to push away. 2 more, inhale. Keeping hips level with the ground, exhale. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Come back through center, inhale, lift the hips a little higher, exhale, lower down. Keep the left leg up, but take your foot about a foot away, so your right leg becomes a little longer. Big breath in at the bottom. As you exhale, push your hips back up. You're gonna notice the hamstring light up a little more here. Same thing as before, inhale, imagining your heel dragging towards your hips. Exhaling to push away. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Lower yourself down, take your foot out even more. Your toes might be off the ground here. Big breath in. Exhale, lifting your hips up. Little tuck of the ribs towards the hips. Inhale, dragging the heel down. Exhaling to push away. 2 more. You're going to notice that the further out your foot is, the harder this becomes. Totally normal to get a hamstring cramp as well here. Come back through center, big breath in, lift the hips a little higher, push the heel down to the ground. Exhale to lower. Nice. Maybe you hug the knees into the chest, or you can take the knees out wide, just letting your legs relax. Okay, same thing on the other side. Remember, you can always have 2 feet down when you're doing this. Right toes extend up high. Big breath in. As you exhale, push the left foot down into the ground. So knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Inhale, drag the left heel towards you. Exhale to push away. Inhale, feeling your hamstring. And then as you exhale, feeling more of your quadricep. Let's go 2 more here. Take a big breath in, come back through center. Lift the hips a little higher. Exhale, lower down. Keep your right leg lifted, but walk your left foot out about a foot. Big breath in at the bottom. Exhale to push your hips up. Inhale, drag the heel towards you. Exhale to push away. 2 more here. One more, keep the tuck of the tailbone. Come back through center, lift the hips a little higher, breathe in. Exhaling to lower down. Last one, walk your left foot out even more. Left toes might be off the ground here. Big breath in, start to lift your hips up again. Holding for your exhale. 3 breaths in your own time. One more breath in, lift the hips a little higher. Exhale, lower your hips, well done. Maybe bringing the knees to the chest again. Let's go for a full bridge position. Hands could be down by the side. Sometimes I like to bring my arms over my head, just turning this more into a back bend shape. Big breath in. As you exhale, drive your feet down into the ground. Lift the hips up. Feel free to let the ribs lift up as well if that feels good. Big breath in. Exhaling to lower down. Savasana, boat pose. Hug the hands behind the back of the thighs. Rock yourself up. You might have your toes down. You might have the shins parallel with the ground or toes lifted. Hands on the legs or hands reach out parallel with the ground. Squeeze shoulder blades back. Lift through the chest. Clasp your hands into fists. Roll out the wrists. Eye gaze on your big toes. Swapping directions of the circles. One more big breath in. Exhale, cross your feet over. Sit down on your heels, Vinyasa. We're going to continue opening into our feet. Shift your weight back. If it feels comfortable, lift your knees off the ground. So getting into the tops of the ankle. Inhale, shift forward, lift up onto your toes. And then as you exhale, just lean back, option to lift the knees off. And if you wanted to, maybe the heels come down as well, reaching hands forward to help counterbalance. Inhale, come back through center, tap the knees. Exhale, sit down. Inhale, lift the knees up with or without the help of the hands. Exhale, lower down. Tuck toes, breathe in, lift the knees, maybe. Exhale to tap the heels, reach the arms forward. Inhale, tap knees. Exhale, sit back. Let's go one more round in your own breath. Nice, and then stand up on your shins. Big breath in, bring the hands towards the hips. As you exhale, push the hips forward. Uttanasana, camel pose. Nothing too big here at the moment. Elbows pull inwards, shoulders squeeze back, open the chest. Just keep the chin tucked in for the moment. One more breath, really feeling into that openness, a little bit of surrendering happening in the shape. Come back through center. Hands come down, cat pose, big breath in. Exhaling to round the upper back. All right, tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's take some circles on the wrists. Spreading fingertips really wide, so you've got that wide base of support. Swapping directions. can even make figure eights here. If it feels comfortable, you could flip one hand, so fingers facing towards your knees. Coming back through center, other hand flips around. Come back through center. Both back of the hands come down to the ground, palms facing up. Maybe there's a little shift back. All right, come back to tabletop. You might stay with the knees down. If you felt like a little more, tuck toes, hover the knees just off the ground. Spine is long, big breath in. As you exhale, step your right foot out and then your left foot. As you inhale, walk the right knee back underneath the hip and then the left knee. Exhale, left foot steps out first and then the right foot and then left knee comes in, right leg comes in. Let's go one more each side. At any point you can bring the knees down to the ground. Next time you're in your full plank position, hold. Again, maybe knees or toes. Lift the right foot just off the ground. Feeling the glute and the hamstring lift the foot, but making sure that we're not back bending through the spine. One more big breath in. Exhaling, right toes down, let's shift to the left. Keep tucking the bottom of the ribs towards the hips. Push the hands down into the ground. Protract your shoulder blades. Puff up through the upper back. Lower down, big breath in, knees or toes, chaturanga. Come down onto the belly, Sphinx pose. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Whew, my hands. We're gonna need them strong though for when we come into our peak pose later on. Engage the glutes. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift up through the upper chest. One more breath. So our Sphinx pose is going to be our inhale movement. I'm going to add on to this position. Big breath in, lift tall. As you exhale, ground into your knees. Imagine your cat pose as you lift your hips up. Tuck your chin in towards the chest. Hips don't go too high, just in line with your shoulders. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Exhale, forearm plank, but really tucking the upper back in. A few more like this. If you felt like more, you can come into your full forearm plank, pressing the tops of the feet down into the ground. So toes are pointed. Let's go 3 more. Really focusing on the shoulders here. As you enter Sphinx, you're pinching them back. And then as you exhale and come up, you're spreading them wide. I think I've got one more. Lower your hips down, lower the belly down. Either setting up for a cobra or you can come into Shalabhasana locust pose. Lifting the feet up, engaging glutes, maybe hands are down on the ground. If you felt like more, hands could reach behind you. One final option is to interlace the fingertips, pulling the knuckles down. If you are taking the interlace, see if you can get your palms closer towards each other. 2 more breaths. Point the toes. Can you lift a little higher with the heels and the head? Release the hands down. Let's come to child's pose. Push up onto the knees. Big breath in. Exhaling to shift back. Hips to heels, maybe forehead to the ground. One more breath. Start to roll yourself forward. Big breath in, plant into the hands. As you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Purvottanasana, downward facing dog. Might pedal out the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. We're going to flow a little more, but before we do, let's find some stillness. Lift your hips up, soften the heels towards the ground, almost like your toes could pull up towards your shins. There's a tipping of the hips, lengthening the lower back. Pushing the hands down into the ground to shift the chest towards the thighs. Use your next breath in. Let's walk our feet forward towards our hands. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, feet are about hip width distance here. Halfway lift, hands come to the shins, big breath in. Exhale to fold forward. Rise up through standing, big breath in. Urdhva. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Engage the glutes, inhale, lift up, push the feet down. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale, hold here, strengthen the back, pull shoulders down. As you exhale, hands either come to the heart or beside your hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. Hug the left heel towards the glutes, big breath in. As you exhale, push the left foot towards the back, warrior three. Hug the bottom rib cage, the bottom of the ribs towards the hips. Inhale as you step your left toes back, high lunge, arms lift. As you exhale, bend the knee, open the chest. Knee hovers off the ground. Inhale, hands come down. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Puff up through your upper back. Exhale, chaturanga. Come down onto your belly, sphinx pose. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, same thing as we did before, either knees or toes, rounding through the upper back. Two more times. Inhale, imagining cow pose. Exhaling to round, imagining your cat pose. One more. Locust pose. Inhale, lifting up, lifting heels, lifting the head. Hold for your exhale. Take another big breath in. Exhale, lower down, hands by the ribs, pushing up, knees or toes. Big breath in, high plank. Exhaling, downward facing dog or child's pose. Take one breath. Inhale, make your way forward. Let's come straight into halfway lift this time. Exhale, fold again. Rise through standing, inhale. Tadasana, hands by the sides, exhale. Rise up again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Hold here, exhale, either hands to chest or hands by the sides. Shift your weight into the left foot, inhale, right heel hugs into the glutes. As you exhale, push your right foot towards the back of the mat. Pull the shoulder blades down the back body. Step your right foot back. Inhale, high lunge, arms lift. As you exhale, bend the right knee, hover off the ground, a little back bend. Hands come down, breathe in. As you exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Sphinx pose, inhale. Exhale to round. Two more. Shalabhasana, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhaling, coming down, tuck toes, push up knees or toes, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, take a breath. You might like to step forward, or you could try a little jump by bending your knees, looking forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, bow it down. Rise up, big breath in. Breathing out. Inhale, lift arms. Exhale, fold. Halfway, inhale. Hold, exhale. Shift the weight into the right. Inhale, left heel towards glutes. Exhale, slowly push it away. Step back, inhale, high lunge. Exhale, bend knee, open the chest. Hands come down, inhale. Exhale, step back. Inhale, roll forward. This time, option to stay on your hands, otherwise coming down to your Sphinx pose. Inhale, lowering the hips down, point the toes here if you want. As you exhale, lift the hips up, plank position, knees or toes. Inhale, lower the hips, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips. One more, inhale. Exhale, tuck ribs towards hips. Lower down onto your belly, locust pose, breathing in. Exhale, hold. Big breath in. This time as we exhale, push to knees, child's pose, just for a moment. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to move, shift forward, downward facing dog. Breathing in, either walking or hopping forward. Halfway lift. Exhale. Recenter, bow down. Rise up, breathe in. Exhale. Last time here, inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Hold. Find your hands. Shift weight into left foot. Hug right foot in. Inhale. Exhale, slow press back. High lunge, inhale. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, hands down. Exhale, step back, down dog. Roll forward, inhale. Exhale, either holding or coming down to elbows. Inhale for Sphinx or upward facing dog. Exhale to round. Two more. Remember shoulder blades, squeezing them back. And then exhaling to puff up. One more. Lower hips down. Lower belly down. Locust pose. One last time, breathing in. And then lowering down, let's come back to child's pose again. Inhale, grounding knees. Exhaling, coming back. Walk your hands back towards you. Lift your hips up. We're going to enter a half camel pose, half Uttanasana. So you might start with your toes tucked. And let's all start hands to hips. Big breath in. Exhale, push forward. So we're going to bring, if it feels comfortable, right hand towards the right heel. Left arm reaches up and over. So there's a little twist of the chest towards the right. A little squeeze of the shoulder blades back. If you did feel like more, you can untuck your toes here. And if you could get far enough into it, it might feel nice to relax the head but I find that it only really feels comfortable for me if I can get my hips quite far forward. One more breath. Lowering hips down to the heels, and maybe you just stay in a seated position, or you can come back to child's pose, just taking about 2 or so breaths, yeah. Come back to kneeling. Inhale as you shift your weight back, lift the knees up. Exhale, lower the knees. Lift the hips, tuck toes, breathe in, lift the knees. As we exhale, let's all plant the heels down, but lift your hips up. Forward fold, Uttanasana at the back of the mat. There might be a little shift from side to side, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Walk the hands up to the shins. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hold. Just like we did before, hands at heart or hands by the sides. One more option is to find that interlacing of hands, pulling the knuckles back. Shift your weight into the right foot. Inhale, hug the left heel in. Exhale, push the left foot away. This time we rise up to stork pose. Inhale, left knee lifts, arms over your head. Exhale, back into warrior 3. 3 more times. Really feeling your right glute and hamstring engage as you shift from your warrior 3 to your stork pose. Next time you're in your stork pose, hold. Option to lengthen your left toes out. Only here for 1 more breath. Look to the front of the mat. We're going to take a big step forward with our left foot. Big breath in, land it forward, high lunge. As we exhale, just like we did before, bend the knee to a hover. Option to bring it down to the ground. Big breath in. As we exhale, just like our half camel, you might bring your right hand to your right hip, maybe right hand to right thigh, or you could walk it down towards the right ankle. Roll the left shoulder back, open the chest, and if you felt like even more, right hand could hover off the leg. So you're really using the strength of the back and the glutes to lift you high. Big breath in. Look forward, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. We're here for a few breaths. You might like to lift your toes up. Maybe your fingertips come underneath your toes. If you can reach, maybe toes walk towards the wrist creases. There's a little pull of the hands into the feet, helping to lengthen the legs and drop the head down. One more breath. Release the hands, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, rise up, big breath in. This time we send it straight back down on our breath out. Half lift. Exhale, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. You might stay here, or you can flow through just a normal vinyasa. Breathing in, rolling forward. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Exhaling, down dog again. Knees come down. Sitting up for our camel again. Rise up. Again, maybe you start toes tucked, although if you know where you might go on this side, then you can head there. Big breath in. Exhaling, pushing hips forward. And this is where you might stay in a more neutral position. Or left hand could come down to the left heel. Right arm reaching up and over. So even though we're very open We're kind of letting the arm drop back. We're still super strong through the back body. Okay, there's a squeeze of the shoulder blades. There's a push of the hips forward with the glutes. One more breath. Sit yourself down to your heels, and remember you can either stay here or you can head into child's pose for 2 breaths. Walk yourself back up. Inhale as you lift your knees off the ground. Exhale, shift forward, tuck toes, breathe in, lift the knees. As you exhale, fold forward, trying to keep the belly as close to the thighs as possible. So bend your knees a little more here if you need. Half lift, inhale. Hold for your exhale. Hands wherever feels good. Maybe you find that interlace again. Shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale, right heel hugs to glutes. Exhale, drive it away, warrior 3. Inhale, right knee lifts up, arms lift. Hug knee in towards the armpit. Exhale, sweep back, warrior 3. 3 more times. Aiming to keep hips square to the ground. Shoulders squeezing back the whole time. Next time your knee is lifted, hold. Option to extend the right toes out long. Look to the front of the mat. Take a big breath in as you step forward. High lunge. As you exhale, bend the left knee either to a hover or you can bring it down to the ground. Left hand might come to the left hip. If you felt like more, you can wander it down the leg. Keep trying to slide your hips forward so you're opening through the left hip flexors. Option to hover the left hand off the leg. That's super challenging. One more breath. Look forward, big breath in. Shift your weight forward. As you exhale, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Hands could come underneath the feet again, although if you'd prefer a different variation of your forward fold, you can find that as well. Last time we're going to be standing today. Hands to shins, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. Rise up, big breath in. Send it straight back down, exhale. Maybe through the mouth. Half lift, inhale. Hands down, exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Maybe staying here or final vinyasa. We'll all meet in our child's pose. Let's walk our hands back towards us. Sweep the feet to one side. Sink down onto your hips and bring your feet forward. Okay, we've come to this moment. I'm going to show you a few options. The first is just to rest. If you feel like you've emptied your energy tank, then you can just lie down on your back. Totally cool. If you still wanted to play, first option for that will be reverse tabletop, so feet roughly underneath the hips. Feet underneath the knees. Second option is one leg out, one foot close. And you're going to try lift your hips, pulling the toes towards the ground. Third option for Purvottanasana is both legs out, pointing the toes, feet hip width distance, and then lifting up. Either keeping the chin tucked in, or you could reach it behind you. Whew. So remember, we've got that strength, that openness, and that surrender at the back. 5 breaths if you can at the top. Big breath in. As you exhale, push hands down, lift the chest, point the toes, engage the glutes, roll the shoulders back, and maybe you keep the chin tucked in, or again, if you wanted to, head comes behind. Then coming back down. You might like to cross your feet here and just sit up tall. You're most welcome to try that again. You can pause the video and do that. Otherwise, we're going to wind things down pretty quickly. 2 options for a forward fold. You can either go in for Janushasana, hit to knee pose, getting the back of the leg. We've done a lot of hamstring opening today, so that might feel quite nice. Another option is to go for a cross-legged position because we haven't done that much hip opening today. That could feel nice. I'm going to do each side. Cross-legged, if you felt like more, you could take the foot up onto the shin or up onto the thigh. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, walking forwards. Maybe hands or elbows on the ground. And then just walking hands back towards you, swapping it out to the other side. You might even like to close down the eyes here. Big breath in, and breathing out. Really intentionally slowing the breath down here. And that's just going to help us soften into these positions. Two more breaths. Walking hands back towards you. Let's come down onto our backs. We'll finish our practice with a twist. If there's a specific twist that you'd like to take here, then you're most welcome to go for that. I'll offer an eagle twist, again, just opening into the hips a little more. Crossing the right thigh on top of the left. Take a big breath in, right arm reaches out to the side, left hand on the side of the thigh. As you exhale, drop the knees to the left. Pressing right shoulder down into the ground. You might even like to use your left elbow on the ground to help with this rotation. Coming back through center, let's swap it out. Left thigh on top of the right this time. You can always find the double clasp, left foot behind the right calf. Otherwise, left hand out to the side, big breath in, start to drop the knees to the right. Exhaling to hold. And then coming back through center, setting up for our Savasana. Making sure that whatever position you land in, that you feel comfortable, but know that you can also swap at any point. Softening the eyes down. Creating that space around the heart by maybe sliding the shoulder blades underneath you a little more. I'm just going to be here for another few minutes. I'll let you know when we'll start to transition out. Just invite yourself to come back into your body. Notice where tension has arisen. Maybe around the face, around the eyes, or the lips, or the jaw. And seeing if we can soften into those parts. Let's deepen the breath. And we'll eventually make our way up into a seat to close out our practice. If you'd like to take any movements along the way, you're most welcome to. Finding a tall spine. Remembering that it takes strength to surrender. But when we do let go of the need for certainty and we are okay living in that doubt, we have a lot more freedom. We're a lot less rigid, and we just see what happens. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Woo! Thank you so much, everyone. I think I went into a really beautiful space in that Savasana. Just felt so relaxed. Thank you so much for practicing. And as always, I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment down below, send me a message, either through Instagram or Patreon, where we have some longer classes. I love hearing from you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.